Who would have thought that something as simple as this would be one of the main reasons why my eBay card sales have increased?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Are you talking about shipping through a PWE? Because I have some concerns with that. You see, I like to ship things through a bubble mailer by using First Class.
Okay, well then let's talk about it. Tell me your concerns.
Now, I'm very hesitant in using plain white envelopes to ship out my cards. I mean, like I said, I think bubble mailers are the best way to go. And I have two major concerns. One of them is tracking, and the other is protection. Now, when it comes to tracking, I want to make sure that the card makes it to the buyer. With bubble mailers and first class shipping, you can almost kind of guarantee that it's going to the buyer and when it gets there. With standard shipping, the tracking is a little faulty, and there are a lot of scammers out there that are going to message me and say they never received the card, and then all of a sudden I'm out on that card and I have to refund them and do all these things. That's a big concern for someone like me that prefers shipping through bubble mailers. And the second part is all about protection. When you ship through a plain white envelope, your card's not very protected. The risk of a card getting damaged through this versus through this is a lot higher. At least with this, I can use a team bag, wrap the card in cardboard to kind of help protect the card to make sure it doesn't get damaged. As you can see, I have some pretty valid concerns as to why I don't want to use a plain white envelope. So what do you got to say about that?
All right, I get you. Those are two very valid points there. Believe me, I've had those same thoughts and concerns before I jumped into eBay standard shipping, in regards to tracking and protection. So let's talk about it. I agree with you wholeheartedly that the eBay standard shipping tracking system is a little faulty. I mean, I've had a couple of times in which eBay buyers have reached out to me letting me know that the card shows delivered on its tracking system, but yet the card hasn't arrived in their mailbox. My response to them has always been the same. Give it a few days, because sometimes whenever it scans at its destination, doesn't mean it's delivered yet. Sometimes what happens is it shows up as a delivery, but it just means that it's arrived at their local post office. So I usually tell them to give it a day or two, and if it doesn't come in, I'll refund them. More oftentimes than not, it ends up showing up in their mailbox within the day or two, and they message me back telling me that they got it. Now, I'm pretty sure, yes, there are some scammers out there that'll tell you they didn't receive it. But for someone like me who sells in high volume, those come few and far in between, if at all. So yes, while the tracking system is faulty, it's a lot better than what they had before. You had no tracking at all. Now let's talk about point number 2 in regards to protection. Yes, I agree with you as well that these plain white envelopes don't offer much for protection. When I package these things, I'm trying my best to minimize the risk of damage when it goes out. When you ship something through a bubble mailer, first class, you're usually paying between $3 to $4, probably $3.30 to $4. Now, when you think about that, most times when I ship first class, I'm charging the buyer $4 shipping. If you're buying a card that you know is only worth $2, what's more enticing to you? A card that's listed as $2 buy it now with a $4 shipping, or a card that's listed as $2 buy it now with a $1 shipping? When you think about it, it's more of a do the benefits outweigh the risk type of scenario. So what do you think about that? Okay, I get it. Minimize the risks. So why don't you show me how you ship these cards then?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to show you how I pack and ship these cards to be ready to be mailed out through plain white envelopes. First, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a white envelope, a piece of paper, some shipping tape, everyone's best friend, painter's tape, and of course, you're going to need the cards. Okay, so now we're going to take that piece of paper and then we're going to fold it into 3 parts. And then we're going to take the card and we're going to use painter's tape to tape the top of the top loader. We're going to create a flap to make it easier to pull it off. We're going to put it in the middle of the paper, and then we're going to use painter's tape again to tape down the 3 sides so that it's secure in the middle of the paper. And then we're going to fold it up and then put it in the envelope. We're going to seal the envelope up, and then now we can use the tape to just tape the label on. And now the cards are ready to be shipped. All we got to do now is head to the nearest drop box and drop them off. Now, I'm not going to deny the fact that there are risks associated with shipping through a plain white envelope. I mean, they're there. The best we can do is try to mitigate those risks by putting in good practices on how we ship cards. You're going to have those people here and there that are going to say your card is damaged, or they're going to say that they never received a card. When you're doing these things in volume, you have to expect those things to happen once in a while. At the end of the day, that just ends up becoming a very, very small percentage of your overall sales. So you've probably made money along the line to the point where you can absorb the costs of those refunds. For someone like me, all I sell these days are just those low-end sports cards. And I think those are the best cards to flip. It's the secret to flipping that no one talks about. And if you want to know more why I think that, then go ahead and check this video right here.